Could William Saliba be about to become the world's most expensive defender? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around this man right here, William Saliba, who in recent days has become under a lot of transfer speculation surrounding where his footballing future may lie beyond this season, as a certain Real Madrid could potentially come calling for him in the summer of 2025. If recent reports are to be believed, then Madrid may be preparing a huge and monumental bid towards the Arsenal defender for this summer, as they look to bolster and reinforce their defensive options going forward, and Saliba may fit the bill. But if they are to take him out of Arsenal's grasp, it may take a world record bid for a defender for him to jump ship from Arsenal to the Spanish Giants. We're going to be talking about this potential transfer story. We're going to be talking about Saliba. We're going to talk about Real Madrid as well, and everything else in between. But before we go any further in discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both of them are always and forever be greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section as well. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That will make for great interesting reading, I'm sure, down below. So please do get involved down there. Use and abuse that comment section, people, and talk to me on this big potential transfer story. Would love to know what you guys have to say on all of this and much more. So please do get involved. We'd love to hear from you all. And without further ado, let's get on with the video ourselves, shall we? Let's get on with the topic ourselves, and let's talk William Saliba and a potential move to Real Madrid in the summer of 2025. Look, this should come as no surprise to anyone that this is potentially materialising. We've all known for a while William Saliba, fantastic player, has grown so much over the years, not just as a player, but as a man as well, as a leader on that pitch, as a leader in the Arsenal dressing room. He has become one of the top defenders in the game right now. He's one of the best players in the world right now, one of the best defenders in the world. He has been absolutely outstanding for Arsenal these past few years. He really helped Arsenal grow from where Mikel Arteta picked them up from to where they currently are now. He's helped them rise through the ranks. He's helped them rise to a point where they are challenging for the Premier League title. He has helped them rise to a point where they have got one of the best defensive records, not just in English football, but across Europe. He's developed an incredible partnership with Gabriel alongside him. He has become a true, incredible colossus at the back for Arsenal. And it's no surprise that Real Madrid are potentially coming calling for him in the summer of 2025. Now, we are a little bit away from that transfer window opening, but what we do know about Real Madrid is that, of course, they have been looking for a defender for a while. They were looking at Lenny Yoro in the summer of 2024. That didn't materialise because they didn't want to pay the fee, and he ended up going to Manchester United. They have since been linked with a number of centre-backs, including the likes of Christian Romero at Tottenham, for whatever reason, and Ibrahima Konate of Liverpool. And this seems to be the latest link, which will, in my opinion, get stronger and stronger, because William Saliba is 23 years of age. He is already an incredible defender. He's not yet the finished article, but you could soon get there. And under Real Madrid's guidance and tutelage, there's no doubt about it, he can reach his potential and maybe even exceed where a lot of people see his potential, because he is just that damn good. And playing for Real Madrid, he can maybe only get better. He can win multiple trophies, whether it be domestically or from a European standpoint. He can win a lot of silverware. With Arsenal, it's not out of the question for him to win silverware, but of course, you increase your chances when you go to a club like Real Madrid. So the link makes no surprise when you consider he's incredible. These lot are looking for a defender. It's a match made in heaven. It's also a match made in heaven because this is exactly what Real Madrid do. This is ingrained in their DNA. This is ingrained in their business strategy. This is ingrained in their on-the-pitch strategy. They look for players that can offer something for the present and or the future. And William Saliba is exactly that. He will come in, he'll bed into that Real Madrid defence, and he will look incredible for the here and now, and he will look incredible for the future, because Real Madrid do this. They go around the world. They send their scouts out around the world, and they just look for the best players. They cherry pick the best players from around the world, no matter what continent it is, whether it be in Europe or whether it be around the world, mainly in South America or anywhere else. They just don't stop looking for the next big thing. They don't stop looking for incredible talent, because it will help their club stature off the pitch as well as them be successful on the pitch. And like I say, whether it's for the present or whether it's for the near future or for the long-term future, this is Real Madrid's strategy, and William Saliba could soon be a part of that if Real Madrid get their way. The news is that Arsenal are in no position to sell. They don't want to sell, and it will take a world record bid for William Saliba to jump ship to Real Madrid. It will take a world record bid for Arsenal to even consider selling William Saliba to Real Madrid. That is what the reports are saying. But as we know, Real Madrid, for a lot of these players, are a different type of knock to anyone else. A lot of players seemingly grow up or seemingly have ambition or dreams of playing in the all-white infamous strip of Real Madrid. A lot of players seemingly have dreams of one day playing in the Bernabeu for Real Madrid. It is just seemingly a dream that a lot of players have, and a lot of players want to one day be a part of a Real Madrid squad. And William Saliba might not be any different in that. We've seen a lot of players in the past get their heads turned, but when Real Madrid come calling, Real Madrid come knocking on the door, and as much as the selling club at that point don't want to listen, they don't want to answer that door, sometimes the players force the club's hands. Sometimes the knock is just too strong for those clubs to eventually handle, and eventually we get to a point where Real Madrid bully their way, and I mean that in a sort of big club manner, may not exactly look fair from the outside looking in, but big club performs like a big club, which we'd all love our club to do from time to time, and I know my club especially. But yes, Saliba may be no different in that. And again, this should come as no surprise. We know that obviously Saliba has risen through the ranks in recent times, with obviously being loaned out initially, biding his time, and then of course becoming a mainstay and a big cog in that Mikel Arteta machine. We know that obviously he is a massive part of the squad. We know that he's a growing influence, he's a growing leader in that team. He's growing as a player and as a man every single day. He's 23 years of age. And for the present and the future, he could do an incredible job for Real Madrid. An incredible job. Now, in terms of contract situation, it's an interesting one, because in the summer of 2025, Arsenal will only have Saliba for another couple of years before his original contract does expire. So this one could really be on the player. Arsenal don't necessarily need to sell him, but you don't really want to get down to the final year of your contract with Real Madrid sniffing around. Now, of course, Madrid could probably move on to someone else by then, and in a couple of years' time, of course, Saliba will be 25, 26. So he will still be relatively young. He will be virtually entering into his prime at that point. It's going to be an interesting one to see develop this. It's going to be very interesting to see how both parties, both Saliba and Arsenal handle this one. Does Saliba have his head turned? Does he maybe kick things off by trying to ignite more fuel to the fire? Does he try and maybe force a way out? Does he maybe stay respectful? Does he maybe go, you know what? I know it's Real Madrid, and I'm not going to say no, because it'd be stupid not to at least entertain the offer from the Spanish Giants. But does he maybe say, if something does materialise, it materialises. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's going to be very interesting to see how Saliba handles this one. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Arsenal handle this one as well. We know that obviously they are in a position where they are very close to maybe obtaining their initial goals of Premier League glory and maybe even challenging for the Champions League. We know that they are about there. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle this one. And, you know, I think even if, let's say, hypothetically, Arsenal were to win at least one of the Champions League or Premier League this season, it may keep Saliba on for another year, but like I say, with only 2 years then remaining on his contract at the end of this season, do you really want to play that kind of game where you could potentially get a very high fee for Saliba? And in a year's time, maybe he has his heart set on going, Arsenal push a price out, and Madrid go, we're Real Madrid. If we want him at the end of his contract, we'll go and get him. Because we're Real Madrid. It's going to be very interesting to see how this one plays out. But this seems to be a bit of a developing story. We know how good William Saliba is. We know how incredible he has been for Mikel Arteta. But we'd be lying to ourselves, everybody, whether you're an Arsenal fan or whether you're a rival fan like me from the outside looking in, you'd be lying to yourself if you didn't think that this kind of story wasn't going to come out eventually. Because it's not just Saliba. There are a few other Arsenal gems in that team that could potentially be looking at a move elsewhere, or potentially other clubs could be looking in and swooping in for those kinds of players to maybe take to bigger, to maybe bigger things, or at least glory that Arsenal can't necessarily guarantee. I personally think that this story will develop and grow. I couldn't tell you one way or another which way it would go, because as we know, Real Madrid can easily move on to the next big thing. They could find someone else. They could move on to another defender in the meantime. They could bide their time. They could wait until obviously his contract does expire, or the ball is more in their court than it is Arsenal's right now. It could be a very interesting transfer story, and if I was Arsenal right now, I would be praying, I would be begging, I would be doing everything I can to get my owners to convince him to stay by any means necessary. And that means pushing the boat out even further, because obviously Arsenal fans will tell you they don't believe that their owners have pushed the boat out enough for them to be convinced completely that they will be winning a Premier League title or a Champions League. Some of them are not convinced by that. Some of them are. It seems a bit of a split and divided fan base right now in terms of that kind of debate and argument. But if you don't want this kind of story to develop, if you don't want more stories like this to become more frequent with some of your big name players, you need to be standing on the necks of your owners. Not literally, of course, but figuratively, you need to be standing on the necks and forcing them to push the boat out more in order for you to obtain silverware, in order for you to show ambition, in order for you to continue to display that the club is growing and getting bigger and better with each and every single passing year, to the point where it doesn't matter who your manager is, it doesn't matter who your players are, you can just simply in and out, and it's seamless transaction, it's a seamless transition, and they keep going from strength to strength. Until then, though, until you start winning things again at a more consistent level, these stories will develop, these stories will become more frequent, and it could potentially materialise into a bit of a nightmare scenario for Arsenal fans across the globe. Real Madrid have seemingly locked on a target of William Saliba, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this story develops in the coming days, coming weeks, coming months, up until the opening of the transfer window. And then beyond that point, who knows what could happen when it's a free-for-all, as the summer transfer market will be open once again. These are the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about this potential transfer story of William Saliba potentially going to Real Madrid in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, your predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, that I'm sure will make for great interesting reading down below. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people. And if you haven't already, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video, or subscribe if you are new. Both things always and forever be greatly appreciated. I've been Fletch as always. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Thank you all for your either continued or even brand new support to the channel. If you are brand new, welcome along to the channel. Welcome along to the adventure and the journey that we are on. And if you are continuing your support, can't thank you enough, guys. Thank you all so much for the support down the years, down the days, down the weeks, down the months, whatever it may be. It's been very much appreciated and will never obviously be ever taken for granted. So thank you all so much for that. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will soon speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.